Hello, my name is Dolapo and I film about fully funded scholarships in the UK and how to successfully apply for fully funded scholarships. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of the documents that you need to prepare and gather to be able to apply for a fully funded scholarship. Now, this is not generalized as different institutions may have their different entry requirements and their different documents that they require for you to submit. But these are just some of the documents that I believe are essential for you if you're applying for a fully funded scholarship. Now, the first tip I will give before going into the documents is to first of all have a checklist of all the documents that you need. Now, this will help you to know what documents you've already gathered and what documents you still need to be able to apply. Now, once you've gathered all of these documents that I'll be sharing in today's video, then you can now start your application process. The first document I'll be talking about is, of course, your international passport. So if you're planning to travel to the UK to study, of course, you're going to need your international passport. And most institutions or most universities will ask you to submit a scanned copy of your international passport. So if you don't have your international passport yet and you're planning to apply for a fully funded scholarship either this year or next year, then you need to start working on getting your international passport. Second document that you will need is your degree certificate. So if you're studying or if you're applying for a master's degree, you're going to be required to submit your undergraduate degree certificate or transcript. And if they are not in English, you're going to be required to submit the translation of those documents. If you're applying for an undergraduate scholarship, however, you might be required to submit your WAEC certificate, that is if you're from West Africa, or if you're from any other country, basically your high school certificate. This is important because different universities have their different entry requirements and the grades that they are looking for. So let's say, for example, you are applying for a master's degree and the scholarship eligibility requirement clearly states that you need to have a first class degree or a 2-1. Of course, they need to see your degree certificate and your transcript to be able to confirm that you do have a first class degree or a 2-1. Now, this is not to say that all scholarships require you to have a first class or a 2-1. This is just an example. The third document that you will need is your references. Now, most higher education institutions will require you to submit a reference. Sometimes they say 2 references, some universities say 3 references. Now, these references could either be an academic reference. This means that it's either from a professor or a lecturer from your undergraduate degree, or maybe a teacher from your high school, or it could be a professional reference, that is a reference from your place of work, or it could also be a personal reference, that is a reference from someone that is close to you. Most times they usually state that this person shouldn't be a family member, but someone that is close to you, I can vouch for you as well. It is important for you to start getting your references early, because when you're trying to get reference, for example, from your high school teacher or maybe your lecturer or university professor, they are quite busy and they receive lots of requests from different students asking about references. So that means that their hands are full. So you have to give them enough time to be able to produce a reference for you. Now, in order to save time, what you can suggest is that you can write a reference and then they can cross-check, and if they agree with what you have written, they can then sign it. But this is only in cases whereby the referee has requested for you to do this, either due to their tight schedule or because they don't have enough time to write down a reference for you. Some other universities will actually just have a form, so they might not require you to just write a reference, but sometimes they will send a particular form to your referees and then they will then fill in that form, and that form will already have like some questions that are already there, which will be sent directly to your referee. Whether it's a referee form or they have to write down a reference, it's important to give them enough time to be able to do that. The next document that you will need is your IELTS or any other English language certificate. Now, for most universities in the UK, they'll require you to submit an English language requirement. This English language requirement could come in the form of IELTS, TOEFL, or any other English language certificate. So if you haven't done your IELTS yet or any other English language, exam, it's important for you to start preparing to do that. Now, some universities may require you to, for example, submit your WAEC certificate. I do know a few people that didn't have to submit their IELTS certificate and just submitted their WAEC certificate. On the other hand, some universities will ask you to submit a document from your place of work that shows that you have conversations in English at your place of work, or some universities may ask you to submit a proof that you studied in English. Now, it's not all universities that do this, and that's why it's important for you to check the entry requirements, because it will be stated there by the university university what type of English language requirement that they want you to submit. I will also be doing a full video, as some of you have requested in the comment section, for me to do a video talking about how to study for the IELTS exam. The next document that you need is your personal statement. Now, this is very, very important, and you need to take time to write your personal statement and also give it to other people to have a look at it and just cross-check it, because sometimes you may think that we've written something that is beautifully done, but other people will be able to see some of the mistakes that we have made in our personal statement. So if you are required to submit a personal statement for your application, make sure that you give enough time, and in your personal statement there are certain things that you need to put down, and I'm going to be talking about that in another video. I'll be doing a full video about how to write your personal statement and how you can write a personal statement that stands out. So a personal statement is one of the things that shows that this is why you want to study the course that you're applying to, or why you need the scholarship to be able to study that course. Now, the next set of documents that you're going to need is your CV. Now, for some universities, especially if you're applying for a master's degree, they'll require you to submit a CV. Now, of course, the CV is not going to be like if you're applying for a job. You just need to outline some of the experiences that you've had, either work experiences or volunteer experiences, some of the projects that maybe you did while you're at school. Let me know if you want me to do a detailed video about how to write a CV for your application. Now, finally, I would say once you've gotten all of these documents and any other documents that have been requested for by the university, have a folder where you put all of these documents in, either on your phone or your device. Now, this is important because when you are making your applications, you want to make sure that all of these documents are easily accessible for you, especially if you are making multiple applications and not just one application. Here's an example of the folder I had when I was applying for my scholarship and when I was applying for my course at the University of Sheffield. Now, let me know if this video has helped you, and share in the comment section any other documents that maybe you think that you would need to apply for a fully funded scholarship, or any other documents that you think you need to apply for a course at university in the UK. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.